So just to introduce myself, I'm Doug Wilson. I'm the chair of the management group for the UK Environmental Observation Framework. I'm also chief scientist for the Environment Agency as well, so I have a lot of interest in just understanding the environment and how we monitor and measure that as well. So I think it's fair to say just the role of monitoring and observation for the environment is just incredibly important. It's actually quite a Cinderella subject. I think people quite often take it for granted, but as we move forward, just really understanding how the climate is changing and also then the impacts of that is going to be really, really important. So not just the climate we're dealing with now, but also looking at that in the future. What do we expect to see? But similarly, what does that mean for biodiversity? How will that change? How does land use actually change and impact on both the environment, but also what does that mean for things like food production as well? So the things that actually we tend to take for granted. We are, I think, entering a period of quite significant change, and I think it's very difficult to understate the role that monitoring and observation can actually play to help that as well. And also much closer to home, so in my world, dealing with flooding at the moment, just the role that observation plays in terms of really understanding where flooding is happening and how that's developing over time. So very much operational context is also really important. But all that's just underpinned by really good data. And actually, as UKEOF, one of the things that I think is one of our real strengths is that we bring together people involved in policy, people involved in operational decisions, but also then the research community as well. So a really strong unit in terms of thinking around lots of different aspects as to why this is important. So really UKEOF gives us the kind of eyes and ears for the environment. We're focused across the UK. We actually, as I say, we bring together research with policy as well, really trying to kind of give the eyes and ears for the environment, for the kind of UK as a whole as well. We don't directly control monitoring, that's all owned within individual organisations. What we try and do is actually understand where those areas of common interest are and how we might work together to understand those. So, drawing out a couple of examples, we have working groups that look at things like citizen science, natural capital, we have a data advisory group as well. So the idea is bringing together people there who have that interest. And then also we have topics, so we've led workshops around innovation and how that can really help us. So not just about the monitoring of today, but actually what does that look like in the future and how does that need to evolve? I think one of the big challenges for us is how do we keep relevant? How do we make sure we're measuring the right things, not just now, but actually in years to come? And really, UF plays a very strong role in trying to bring that together. What we're looking for from today is really to try and understand that kind of strategic direction for monitoring at the UK level and how do we bring that together. There isn't really a forum for doing that otherwise. So what we've asked the speakers to do today is look at three themes. So one around integration. So how do we bring together monitoring, not just individual components or monitoring programs? What does that mean when you actually start to draw that together and really get the strength of that weight of evidence? Secondly, around collaboration. So how do we actually develop that shared understanding and ability to work together most effectively? And then the third is around innovation. So as I say, not just the monitoring of today, but actually what do we need to do in the future as well. So for example, recently we've set up a working group on DNA, which I think will really give us a kind of much more forward-looking view around that as well. And as I say, the main thing we're looking for is really to try and draw together that strategic approach to monitoring and really understand what that means as well. It'd be good to come back in terms of the discussions. So that's pretty well all I want to say. Just one point, just to remind people of is today is being filmed, so thanks to BGS for helping us with that. So that means the talks will all be available, so people can access them who aren't able to make it as well. I think all the speakers have been warned about that as well, just to make you all aware.